So I'm not 100% sure how this is going to work out. I'm going to try to see if I can ride this and hold my phone at the same time. All right, hang on. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's episode, I'm going to be adding an LED floodlight to the front of my 08X scooter. The lighting that comes stock on the 08X isn't necessarily really for you to see at night, but mostly so you can be seen by other riders or drivers or things like that when you're out and about. My inspiration for this project came from a company called Outbound Lighting. I'm showing a clip here of their Trail Edition light. As you can see, the light beam here is extremely wide, very bright, making it very easy to see on the trail. The one thing I didn't like about this here was the price of $200. So that was the ultimate goal when I made this, was to get something super bright for a cheap price. I'm doing just a quick indoor test here on the current lights that come on the 08X scooter. Now this here actually looks like it is relatively bright, but the next clip I'm going to show is actually of my iPhone flash while taking a video, and you can see that that lights up the hallway even better than the current lights that come on the scooter. So it definitely isn't for your visibility when you're out riding, so that's what I aim to fix here. Everything I got for this project I got from Amazon, and so I'll have links in the description below, but I'm also just going to post a little clip so you can actually see the item in case you need to reference it. Everything about the installation was very simple. The scooter itself came with an Allen tool that basically has the correct sizes for every screw that's on the scooter. So all I had to do was loosen up the ignition and voltmeter and the brake lever there just to make room for my little switch that I got. Kind of needed to move the handlebars around in order to make everything come off and go back on easily, but once everything was on, all you had to do was refasten the screws, and it was as simple as that. So here's a quick look of step one finished, basically just getting the switch attached to the handlebars here, getting everything ready for wiring. Originally I kind of wanted to run the wires down the main tube there into where the battery wires come out from the bottom, but once I started seeing where the battery was actually going to sit for the headlight, it wasn't really possible to run that through there, so I'm just going to kind of wire it up the stem there and use some zip ties to make sure everything looks super clean. Now this next piece here that I'm using, I didn't even know it existed. I kind of was just searching around on Amazon and was lucky enough to use the right words to find it. But this mount here is perfect for, it's actually made for this LED light that I got. And so they have a couple different sizes, but the size for this was 1.25 inches. And so basically just fasten that on there with a couple Allen screws, make sure it's really tight. Now the next bit here is the actual light itself. Now these things here claim to be 120 watts, 12,800 lumens. And no, I didn't say that incorrectly. I believe that's for the both of them, so that would be cut in half, 60 watts each at 6,400 lumens. So still really bright, but what I was really worried about was that being powered by a rechargeable battery, if it was going to be able to produce enough energy to make sure it had the maximum output. I still don't believe it has the maximum output, but it definitely is a very bright light, which I'll show you here in a moment. So here we have a look at step 2 all finished up, the LED light mounted on the bracket, the wires soldered together and hidden with the rest of the wires, making it look like a real clean installation. Next and final step is just the battery. This here is a rechargeable 12 volt battery. I think a little bit of overkill as far as with the amp hours that I got, but I just wanted to make sure that I was going to have enough light if I ever needed it when I was out for a long ride. I attached it just using Velcro strips there, a couple of strips on the side just for extra security, making sure it's going to stay very firm in case I go over any bumps or anything like that. It's not going to be going anywhere. So now I'm moving on to doing an indoor test with the light itself. Now first I'm going to be using a light I got from Amazon that I was originally going to use as the headlight for my scooter. This thing here claims to have 4,000 lumens. As you can see from the output, it's a very round light there, and so I was just worried that if I was out on trails it wasn't going to be a wide enough spread for me to see everything. Up next, now I'm going to be testing the floodlight that I just installed. So as soon as the lights go out, you can see there's a huge difference between this and the Amazon light. It still looks like after I turned out the living room lights that the lights were still on. So this thing is definitely very bright. I'm really excited to get it outside and do some tests out there. Now taking it outside, I'm going to be testing that same Amazon light again. So you can see still very round output like I was worried about. What we're looking at here is there's kind of a creek. I'm under a bridge right there, and so you can't really see across. Even when I switch to the floodlight, it doesn't necessarily do it justice, but you can see there isn't very much visibility out to the sides with that particular light. So now, once I turn on the floodlight, you can see a lot farther from side to side. You can even see across the creek there, of the supports there on the other side of the bridge. Switching back here to the Amazon light, I'm going to point it back up the trail a little bit just to get a better idea of what I'd be looking at if I were to be out riding on the trail right now. And then as soon as the floodlight turns on, you can see how big of a difference it makes from side to side. I think the only thing left to do now is just take it for a ride. So that's going to do it today, guys. Super fun build for this project here. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything about the scooter you guys want to see content on. I still have a lot of plans to make future videos for this here, so all that stuff is in the works. So definitely keep checking back often, hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.